What's going on, guys? Asian Guy here, bringing you a PvP showcase slash tutorial slash guide video for the incoming Pirate Rumble slash Pirate Festival slash PvP, which is going to debut tomorrow on the global server of One Piece Treasure Cruise, the 24th of September, which incidentally is my wedding anniversary as well. Hooray. But those kind of memes aside, in this video we are going to demonstrate some good teams that you can be running on global and some very good teams that are already available on Japan, while also showcasing a little bit of the menus to you guys. But I'm not going to open this whole Pandora's box of the entirety of PvP, because let me tell you, it's kind of like a completely new game. OPTC 2.0 is the nickname for this game mode. There's a lot of stuff to digest. So first of all, to keep things simple, I just want to demonstrate, and unfortunately I do have a victim here who I am going to bully a little bit, who has made terrible decisions, but because they're a whale and they have a lot of gems to blow on PvP while doing it extremely inefficiently and incorrectly, we have got this person, Lark PS. I'm so sorry, Lark PS, but this person has unfortunately invested in some of the worst units that you can invest into, and they have doubled down on it. So for example, Big Mom, Kaido, Douglas Bullet, and V1 Snake Man. If you remember my PvP tier list video that I uploaded yesterday, these were some of the worst possible units that you could invest in. A lot of players, including myself on Japan, started off investing in these units because before the PvP buffs came out on Japan, these were decent characters. But now the PvP buffs came out on Japan for so many other units in the game, all of these units have fallen way behind the curve. I'm going to demonstrate that for you guys here today. This person, oh no, fully maxed. Please don't tell me it's fully maxed Kaido. Okay, this is something different because this Kaido was terrible from release. And the fact that this person has fully maxed out this Kaido is really not a good sign for the glue that is probably in his house. So that's a Douglas Bullet max. That's not too bad. Aokiji maxed is fine. PvP Whitebeard should be maxed. It is maxed. One of the best units in the game. And V1 Snake Man is also maxed. Yikes. Okay, so we are going to go in on this team. I have got a fully maxed team as well. I've got Shanks crew fully maxed. I also have V2 Rayleigh fully maxed. I have V3 Law fully maxed, and I also have PvP Whitebeard, who debuts on his Sugo Fest fully maxed, so if you do pull him, congratulations. And I also have the Ultimate Legends, Sanji and Luffy, fully maxed as well. My subs bench are all fully maxed, but I don't expect to use any of them except for maybe Kaku, who is actually not fully maxed. He's max special and level 4 passive, but his passive doesn't do anything for my team here. So let's begin. The reason why this guy's team is bad, if you were paying attention to my video yesterday talking about what's good and what's bad in PvP, is that this guy has not invested into defense at all. He has 0 defense stat, which is essentially 0 damage reduction. Now on my team, I currently have no defense right now, but after 30 seconds, or after Shanks crew activates their special, or even after Rayleigh, V2 Rayleigh here, takes some damage, my game has decided to lag extremely here, apologies, but if V2 Rayleigh goes under 60% HP, he will also activate defensive buffs for my team. And V2 Rayleigh is already there, very close to taking that extra bit of damage that will take him all the way down to the 60% mark. He just needs a little bit more hits here, but there's also a good chance I will just start one-shotting the enemy team very early on. We do have the level 5 defense up coming through from Shanks crew. We now have level 9 defense, which is a solid amount of damage reduction. You got PvP Whitebeard gonna hit me here. It only hits around 2,500, which is really not that much here. This is looking a little bit scary as Sanji, Luffy do get binded here. We're gonna get HP cut here as well, but it's still gonna be okay. Looks like we're losing this, right? But because the enemy has no defense whatsoever, we got some of their units one-shotted there. The PvP Whitebeard does get one-shotted here. We have got the V3 Law coming through for fixed damage. The enemy team is now down 8 versus 3. I still have my Sanji and Luffy special about to activate here for 2 more one-shots, and that's pretty much it. That's game over. The enemy team has been obliterated, and I gotta say, guys, this is why you really have to invest in the correct units. That was not even remotely close, and all of his specials activated before mine. And I just gotta say, that's a 40 win streak, and the reason why I can have a 40 win streak, guys, is because there's so many players, even on the Japan server, who have invested into terrible decisions, and they have many gems to just climb up their ways up PvP. Now, having a win streak in PvP is very, very important, because a win streak actually gives you more bonus points, it gives you more bonus tickets, meaning that you have to gem less to climb higher up the ranks. This guy here, I'm almost certain, does not have a good win streak, and he is constantly relying on having to find really, really weak enemies, or he's going for enemies, as you guys can see here. At the very top here, this guy has only 11 points if I beat him, because he's so far behind me in the rankings. The guy in the middle is only 13 points, and the guy at the very bottom is 27 points because he's ahead of me. So unfortunately, there are a lot of people on Japan who have invested into terrible, terrible units like that, and I cannot stress, guys, please do not invest into a whole a whole hot garbage field team of powerhouse units, because they are so outdated. You saw my team there completely destroy them. 8-0, guys. 8-0 is an embarrassing scoreline. He was not able to kill any of my units, even though he got his specials off before mine, and he had PvP Whitebeard, guys. Just having PvP Whitebeard alone is not enough to do good. It's a fantastic asset to have, but in the hands of someone who has no idea what they're doing with it, it's not good enough. And it's just the same way in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing. Even a stick, even a piece of paper can be useful. So in that sense, PvP Whitebeard, if you own him, please make sure you know what you're doing with him. Let's move on. Alrighty, guys, so the other thing that I want to talk about in PvP today is climbing. Now, climbing the ranks is going to earn you more rewards, more tickets, and more tickets means you can upgrade your facilities on the new Resource Island way faster. For those of you who don't know what Resource Island is, this is Resource Island. You get a lot of freebies here every single day. For me, for example, I have this gem tree at level 28, and at level 28, every 2 days I get a free gem, which is very nice. And one day I hope to max this out, which means every 20 hours, which is less than once a day, I will be getting a free gem, which is over 420 gems per year. So I would like to max this out one day, but I have a very long way to go. This, I will not be able to max this out probably for like the next 2, maybe even 3 years. But at the moment, having 48 hours per free gem is very nice. On top of that, I have expanded my Cotton Candy's attack stat so that I can have plus 180 attack instead of plus 100. The maximum limit is plus 200, but again, this is gonna take a very long time to gather all these tickets. I'm absolutely nowhere near level 25. Maximum level is level 35, and it gets exponentially harder to level up these areas. Now, I don't really want to talk too much about this. I want to show the gameplay more. This kind of stuff you don't really need to understand early on, other than the best ones to invest in are Cotton Candy and gems. Take your pick, take your priorities, whichever one you think is more important. Attack Candy is good for PvP, good for PvE. Attack Candy is never bad, and you can put it on every single unit and it will help, whereas having more gems is obviously a good thing as well. I don't think I need to spell that out for anyone. So yes, both of them are fantastic things to invest into. I do not suggest investing into anything else other than Candy and also the gem tree. Now, how to climb in PvP. This part is complicated to explain. I really want to talk to you guys about how having a very good defense team is a fantastic way to climb, and also a very good way to save gems for qualifying in the qualifier rounds to get into the winners bracket, or even if you're trying to go for the losers bracket, how to manipulate that kind of stuff. I think I'll probably save that for another future video. There are some very good posts on the OPTC subreddit that I highly recommend people read by Fate of Muffins and I believe Gear56. And those two have really spent a lot of time researching and writing that guide up for you guys. So I will leave the link in the description down below if you do want to get into the mega 5 million IQ side of PvP. Now, the main thing though that you need to keep in mind, as I've mentioned in yesterday's video, my tier list video or my infographic video, is that it's always good to have multiple teams to overcome multiple different kinds of enemies. And ultimately, what is going to help you climb your ranks through PvP is understanding what all the units do, understanding how enemy teams function, and understanding the capabilities and limits of your own team. So if we look here, The very top here, this guy only offers me 11 points. He's many, many ranks below me. I have no interest in fighting him because he only offers me 11 points. In the middle row, 25 points is not bad, but that's not the maximum amount of points I can earn. And at the bottom there, I have 27 points, which is the maximum amount of points I can earn. That's almost, guys, almost 3 times more than if I took the easy route out and fought the easy opponent. This person down here, unfortunately, hasn't got a very good grasp of PvP. This is meant to be a very tanky team that's meant to stall you out for a long time. It has healing as well, but the big downside of this team is that it has absolutely no damage whatsoever. It has Corazon, who's a healer. It has Barto, who's a tank. It has a HP cutting tank. It has 3 HP cutting tanks in the form of Douglas Bullet, Whitebeard and Marco, and also Beige. So essentially they have no real way of killing me outside of using normal attacks, and if I have any inkling of defense up on my team, this enemy team has no chance of beating me. And as such, we are going to go ahead and challenge this team. I will build a specific team to counter this enemy team, and the best way to deal with tanks, guys, is by spamming HP cuts. So that is exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to be using, instead of PvP Whitebeard, we are going to be using V1 Whitebeard instead. So V1 Whitebeard, very, very nice. We'll have Shank's crew as well. I want a bit of HP because the enemy normal attacks are still going to hurt me. So let's bring that. And we want to have fixed damage. Now, fixed damage is going to be the name of the game here, because fixed damage, as you guys know, is completely ignores the enemy defense. So it doesn't matter how tanky they are. So we have got 2 tanks here. One pseudo tank bruiser in the form of Whitebeard, and we have got 2 other units here which are going to deal a lot of fixed damage. So the HP cuts combined with the fixed damage should be more than enough to deal with this enemy team. So enemy team, once again, does not have any damage. It has 1 healer and 4 tanks that do not output any sort of good damage there. So I'm very, very confident we're going to win here. The enemy team doesn't have a lot of HP either. If we take a look there, all right, if I pause that here, can I? No, I can't do that. Okay, but if we look at the top here, you can see the enemy, while they do have, for example, Douglas Bullet has 21 attack up. That's very, very nice. They have level 5 HP up, level 5 HP up, level 1 HP up, which is just not good enough. Even for tanks, that means all their tanks are still very, very squishy. They also do not have defense up for their tanks, which is also terrible. So their tanks, even though they have good base defense stat, if they don't have the defense up buff, you can see they're just not going to do any damage to me. They now have a defense up buff, which makes them a lot more tanky. But again, HP cuts and fixed damage completely ignore the defense up buff. And originally, they start off without it, which is really, really bad. So Douglas Bullet, even though he has 27 attack up, he's not going to do a normal attack ever because his cooldown is so short. Their team is now crumbling. It's falling to pieces. We have a Kainu here coming through with more fixed damage. We've got a bit of healing, which should come through from Whitebeard and Marco later on. A little bit from Corazon there. We got fixed damage on my end, which actually kills Whitebeard and Marco and also Corazon. And this is what I mean, guys. If you don't know how to build your teams, you're just giving away free wins to your enemies, who will gain a lot of points. I'm gaining 27 points, the maximum points you can gain in PvP, from this person who is ranked in the top 200. Top 200. Now this dude here, Capone, is going to heal 50% of his HP. He gains 4,100 HP back. But it doesn't matter because he's going to die here. He's all alone. His defense has been reduced. He has no defense up at all. So he's just going to take a beating from all my units. And that's GG again. Another person who has invested in some terrible units, Douglas Bullet, Whitebeard, and Marco. Not good choices at all. Unfortunately, not great choices at all. Very, very poor team. How is this guy rank 121? I do not know. He must have so many gems to climb higher up in the rankings. But yeah, that is another example, guys, of be very careful with who you invest in, because that person has wasted a lot of resources powering up that team. Alrighty guys, we're on a 41 win streak. I may lose this one here because I'm going to showcase a team that I don't have personally maxed yet, but it is going to be a slasher team that you can be using on global. We have found ourselves another victim, and you can see the difference is night and day. So the very team at the bottom there with V3 Aokiji as the banner unit there, very, very good mono side team, very scary. I will never fight a team that looks like that because they will probably destroy me. But the team in the middle, who also offers me 27 points, look who we see, the holy trinity of bad units to invest into. V1 Snake Man, V1 Big Mom, Douglas Bullet, and Cracker is not a bad unit. PvP Whitebeard is top tier, Hody Jones is okay, and 2 filler units there. This team has no defense, and defense is the equivalent of damage reduction. Without damage reduction, you're gonna be in for a pretty rough time. So let's see what kind of units can we fit onto a slasher team that are all available on global. So the first thing is first, we are going to be looking at having Doflamingo, because Doflamingo is very, very, very good. 6+ Dofi, very, very nice. We should use this V3 Lord because it's V3 Lord, debuffs, powerhouse, and also driven units. We have Kizaru in here as well. And I'm deciding whether I want to test out this Calgara and Nolan, who are actually at level 1, which is probably not a good idea. So we're going to bring Shanks Crew as well. And to make this just a little bit more free-to-play friendly, let's bring ourselves Mihawk, Raid Mihawk, who I have at a whopping level 1. Now, as my backup plan, I am going to bring this Kaku just in case. And just in case things do go really sour, and I really doubt it's going to go that way, we'll have PvP Whitebeard on the bench. But I expect at most, from this team, at most, the only unit to die on my team is probably going to be Mihawk, simply because he's level 1 passive, level 1 special ability, very, very, very squishy. I don't have max candies on him. He has 6,000 HP, but I think his defense is very low at 126. Yeah, that's not very, very good. Shanks Crew, on the other hand, have 237 defense and 287 defense from Dofi. So not even half the defense of those units. So let's go ahead, move into this team. The enemy has 1 very top tier unit, but has invested in 3 terrible units and 2 mediocre units. Let's see if they are max level. Yes, max level Snake Man. Almost max level Big Mom there, level 8 special. Pseudo maxed or max passive and half max special there on the Douglas Bullet. We've got max Cracker, obviously going to be a max PvP Whitebeard, which is the big threat here. That's the dangerous one that I have to be careful for. And then also a maxed Hody Jones as well. We'll just see if we lose our 41 win streak here in the top 500 players of JP. We have a level 1 Mihawk, guys. The enemy has a lot of buffs coming through there because strength class for this round is buffed up by level 4 Mihawk. They're taking a fair amount of damage. I do have level 3 defense. The enemy has no defense whatsoever, guys. Has not got even level 1 defense, so I should be able to shred through his units. You saw there, Kizaru did over 2,000 damage there to the Snake Man. 1,750 coming through on the Snake Man. 2,500 on the Snake Man. Snake Man might actually die here really, really early on to normal attacks, which will just show to you how terrible it is to build teams like this. So Snake Man is going to come through, doesn't get his special off. He is most likely going to die. I now have level 9 defense up on all my slasher units. I'm not going to take that much damage at all. Mihawk might die here. Mihawk dies. That's absolutely a-okay. Snake Man is going to die here for the enemy team. And as predicted, Mihawk did die. He is level 1. It is what it is. But this should be a very, very easy battle. Even if I use Kaku or I don't have him, shouldn't matter. You see, I'm obliterating the enemy team right now. Cracker's going to come through. What's he going to... He tickles me. 1,000 damage. That is a maxed Cracker dealing only 1,000 damage. That is absolutely nothing. That's absolutely nothing. He has... That's a Douglas Bullet normal attack dealing 665 damage. And the only damage coming through from the enemy team is, of course, going to be fixed damage from Hody Jones. We have another Kizaru special coming through, really, really shredding the opponent team here. And it's just not looking very pretty for them. Now, this team you can completely make on global if you do have all the units. You don't have to have this Kaku here. You can replace Kaku with a lot of different units. Other different slashers are absolutely a-okay as well. And yeah, this is pretty much a GG, game over. Not even close. I feel sorry for this Hody Jones, who is also maxed out here. Kaku's going to come here and end up killing him. But again, Kaku, not a necessary unit to have here. If we had PvP Whitebeard, it would have been the same. If we had any other unit there who does damage, even 6+ Inu would have been fine to have instead of the Mihawk and the 2 PvP units I have on my team. But again, guys, another example of someone who has invested in poor choices. This guy clearly doesn't know what he's doing because he's put a DPS unit as a tank unit. And by that, I mean the first 3 positions on your team are all going to be the tank units or the tank slots. They're going to be the front row of your team. And he's put his main damage dealer in V1 Snake Man in the front row, which I think is a terrible, terrible idea. He should have had Hody Jones there, and he should have replaced the Cracker onto the subs bench with V1 Snake Man there, or just completely remove the big... It's just a terrible team, guys. There's no other way around. It's just a terrible team. This person doesn't know what they're doing in PvP, unfortunately, and has just climbed their way up to rank 189 by using a crap ton of gems. You hate to see it. But yeah, that is a slasher team that you can be using on the global server of One Piece Treasure Cruise. That is a level 1 Mihawk. Imagine that Mihawk wasn't a level 1 Mihawk. Would have been very, very tasty. Let's go up against this team here. 55,000 battle power. Let's remove this unit here. Let's remove this unit here and make it completely so that is the same as global. So let me see who I can fit onto this team here to make it so it's the same as what will be available on global. Let's just use a slasher unit because this is a slasher team. I should have Raid Zoro actually. I guess you can use Zoro and Sanji, although I don't recommend it. They're not really a good unit at all. But Raid Zoro, we can fit you in here, and we can fit another 20 cost unit in here. So let's use Fortnite Cavendish. We have a 45,000 battle power team going up against a fully maxed 55,000 CPU team. Doesn't matter that CPU, what matters is this is a very good team to test your teams against, because the entire enemy team is fully maxed out at level 5 and level 10 respectively. Level 5 passive is the max level, and level 10 special is the max special level as well. 55,000 battle power. I just want to do this to demonstrate that battle power doesn't matter. It will be very embarrassing if I lose here, guys. It's very possible if I get unlucky with a bit of RNG, I could very much lose here. But I want to showcase that what matters is not battle power, it's team synergy. The enemy team does have damage reduction, or it does have defense up, which is very, very good. Has level 10 speed as well, and level 10 HP, which is of course going to be very scary. My team has level 3 defense, meaning they are also somewhat tanky-ish. They are on the tanky-ish side, not super tanky, but enough to survive the first 30 seconds, and that's what I want to do here. As long as I survive, I get a defense up buff from my 6+ Dofi. I'm going to get a defense up buff from my Shanks crew as well. Carrot is reading here. She's going to die very, very, very soon here. V3 Law, what can you do for me? That's a kill in there. We have Mihawk coming through. He only hits 2 or maybe 3 enemies there who are already very, very low. So in that regard, I did get a little bit unlucky, which is, you know, it is what it is. It's a bit unfortunate. It's a bit unfortunate. We're going to have a big defense down on my 6+ Dofi here, which is something you hate to see. Shanks crew is going to restore his defense somewhat back to -1. Everybody else, however, is on level 9 defense. As Whitebeard comes through, going to reduce all my units' defense, but doesn't kill anybody because we do have that still level 4 defense up from the 6+ Dofi from the Shanks crew as well. Enemy team not looking very pretty, not looking very healthy right now. Smoker is still alive, which is a bit of concern because Smoker does a lot of damage. He might kill a lot of my units here. He eliminates the Mihawk, who seems to be the common victim almost every single time. Unfortunately, poor Mihawk. But we are still winning at the moment. 6 versus 4. It's still looking somewhat comfortable. We are going to want this V3 Law to pop off here, and he should eliminate 3 units, or maybe Zoro might kill them. Zoro kills 2 of them, and V3 Law and Shanks crew should combine. V3 Law should be able to take out this Aokiji, maybe just barely. Yep, just barely takes him out, and then this is game over. Very comfortable win against a 55,000 power fully stacked quick team, mono quick team, which is a solid team. And this is a team that you can create on global. Very, very good team. Again, level 1 Mihawk. He got very unlucky as well because he only hit 2 enemies. Normally he hits like 4 or 5 enemies, which is very, very, very good. But unfortunately this time, even though he only hit 2 enemies, clean. Very, very easy win. Very, very easy win. And this is what I mean, guys. As long as you know how your team synergies work, as long as you know the limits of your own team, the limits of your enemy team, you will be able to conquer PvP very, very quickly over anybody that has no understanding of what the other units do in this game. So hopefully that is a good showcase for the global team that you can invest in. I highly do recommend going for this global team because you have an int unit, you have a dex unit, you have a psi unit, and yeah, it's a bit heavy on the psi unit side. You have Kizaru and V3 Law, but you can replace V3 Law with 6+ Inu Arashi. So another alternative to this team is going to be, so we remove that and we just put 6+ Inu in. Now, with this team, you have one of each color. So this is a very, very, very efficient team to run on global, because it's going to be very easy to power up all of these units without being inefficient with your PvP scrolls. You have one int unit, you have one quick unit, you have one dex unit, you have one strength unit, and you also have one psi unit. Now, the other bonus here is that this Mihawk, as I showcased, level 1, you don't need to invest into Mihawk, and he will still put in good work. So Raid Mihawk, very, very good unit. Only level 1, still very effective. I cannot recommend these slashes enough. So the main crux of this team are going to be these 4 units, and the final DPS unit can be a multitude of different slash units. You got V3 Lore, you got 6+ Inu, you could even put Cracker in there, Calgara and Nolan when they come out, you can put Carrot in there, you can also put the Kaku in there. Please do not invest in Luffy and Lore. Massive, massive trap, totally not worth it. Everyone else, yeah, I would definitely stay away from them. Raid Zoro is another good shout as well. So this is quite, I would say, a relatively free-to-play friendly team, minus the Shanks crew. Shanks crew and 6+ Dofi and Kizaru, these 3 really can't be replaced because they are the main, they are the solid spine, the core of the team. But these 3 together, very, very deadly combination, all available in global. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm sorry to the 3 noobs that I bullied, but you guys gotta step up your PvP game. If you're people watching these videos, please stop investing in terrible units and putting them on your defense. I mean, actually, don't stop doing that, because I need to pick on people to climb up in PvP. So yes, keep doing that so everybody else can have a good time. But as you guys can see here, as long as you understand your PvP synergies, you understand the limits of your team, the limits of the enemy team, you will be able to slap up PvP, no problems whatsoever. 42 win streak there. I just slapped myself in the face. But 42 win streak there. You'll love to see it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you have any questions regarding PvP, please do hit me up in the comment section down below. And remember to hashtag Dunkayoshi with a Bellissimo, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.